it twice as well. It's not going for me either.
Oh, now it just started. Libba,
Oh,
thank you
it
so
just started.
much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm going to include sound this time because we do have a presenter who has sound to include. All right. Now, if I can, from the beginning, let's see how we do. Oh, good Lord, please come on. All right, breathe in. Try this again. Oh, I know I did. All right, well, I see a lot more people joining our meeting, so that's what I really was doing. I was just waiting to make sure everybody was here. There we go. Now, how about now? Can you see the PowerPoint now?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. And still, yay. All right. So let's move along. Our agenda today, we'll be talking about, we'll be hearing from Carolyn and Elizabeth about our FY22 LEA data profiles and determinations. Then we'll have our guest speaker, Shayla Anderson. And then at the end, we'll have some announcements and reminders. And thank you, Libba, for starting the recording for us. So I will slide my camera over, and Libba and Carolyn, I'll let you take it away and just let me know when you'd like me to move the slides along.
Okay, you can go ahead and there you go. All right, I am Carolyn Bostic, and the determinations and profile data was placed into ADT for you to review on yesterday afternoon. We wanted to time it so that we could give you any updates during the LEA call today. So the first thing is for the compliance factor 9, some districts were displaying 0 when it should have been a 2 or 1. Those districts have been notified via email with the correct scoring for their determinations, and that error will be corrected on their final copy. So we just wanted to let you know in advance that if you saw a 0, that, you know, we have corrected it on our end already. And those SOPs that were displaying points, those have been changed to NA because they are not applicable to the SOP, or as formerly SOP, now LEA. So we just wanted to give you that information in advance. If you have any discrepancies, please reach out to us so that we could investigate those things, because we don't want you to receive a score that you did not earn. So we will make those corrections. Next slide, please. Okay, with having said that, for your FY22 data profiles and determinations, your data profiles are as is, unless you've been penalized for data that does not apply to your LEA, and in those instances, you need to let us know that, and we will make sure that that data is accurately reflected on your determinations. However, there are no resubmissions for the data itself. Please do not release this information as we are in review period. Your data is not official, as there could be changes to your overall outcome for the determination. So please do not share this. It is not publicly available at this time. Next slide, please. We do want to honor any corrections that may need to be made. For LEAs will have until April 5th to review their determination and provide feedback for us to review and ask questions. After April 5th, it will become your final determinations. There's no appeal process for the data profiles. There are no resubmission of the data for corrections. However, if there are questions about the calculations, please reach out to the OSIS data team to review those calculations for you. Okay, next slide.
Thank you, Carolyn. This
Elizabeth?
is Elizabeth Moore. I'm going to pick up with the tiering. So LEAs will find out about their tiering April 19th. That is when we will get back any corrections, revisions that have to be made during the review period. We'll rerun our data and make sure we have those lists correct. We will be implementing a full tiered support system for fiscal year 22 determinations, meaning we will have meets requirements, needs assistance, and needs intervention districts in place. You'll note that last year we did not implement needs intervention. We will be implementing that this year. So we'll notify everybody of next steps for each tier shortly after that April 19th, if not right on April 19th. Again, we want to make sure we have those lists correct, and then we will notify each of you what the requirements for your particular grouping is. Some of those will be some trainings and some meetings, and some of that will just be the same requirements they were last year, but we'll make sure everybody's clear on what their next steps are at that time. Next slide, Sarah. If you have any questions, you are always welcome to reach out. You can reach out to me directly or to our data team. Again, we want to make sure we get all of your questions answered and any issues you may see resolved. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you, Libba and Carolyn. Next, we're very pleased to have our presenter today, Shayla Anderson from the South Carolina Inclusive Post-Secondary Education Consortium. And Shayla, you are welcome to open your camera to talk to us, and just let me know as you want me to move the slides along.
Perfect. Camera is on. Are you able to hear me as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on your call this evening / afternoon. I don't want to take up too much of you all's time, so I will go ahead and jump into the presentation. I am the program coordinator for the South Carolina Inclusive Post-Secondary Education Consortium, and that is a mouthful to say more than one time in a row. So we refer to it as SCPSEC for short. And I'm just going to go through a couple of slides today, highlighting a lot of the misconceptions that come up when it comes to the college experience and that opportunity as it relates to young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So Sarah, you can go ahead and skip slides. So SCPSEC is housed in the Center for Transition Research and Leadership at the University of South Carolina. It is comprised of the 6 colleges across the state that offer inclusive opportunities for young adults with IDD. Although it is housed at USC, I am not an employee of any one of these programs. I work collaboratively with them all. So I'm an unbiased party, I guess you could say, that gets to represent all of these programs. You can go ahead, Sarah. Here is just a map of where these 6 programs are located. We have Clemson Life at Clemson University, Winthrop Life at Winthrop University, Carolina Life at the University of South Carolina, Coastal Carolina Life at Coastal Carolina University, Pacer Life, which was brand new this fall at the University of South Carolina, Aiken, and we have the College of Charleston Reach program at College of Charleston. So across these 6 programs, they focus on 5 domains, and they are listed here to the right: functional academics, career development and employment, independent living, and social engagement. And I asterisk personal development and wellness just because those other 4 domains are focused on across the country in IPSE programs, but in South Carolina, all of our programs do a good job of incorporating emotional health and wellness into their curriculum and instruction as well. You can go ahead, Sarah. So one of the big misconceptions, which is why it's number 1, is that college is not an option for students with IDD, and that is incorrect. Although the number is low, only 2% of individuals across the country with disabilities attend college. There are more than 300 across the country. There is only one state that does not have any programs, and there are 6 obviously here in South Carolina. Think College is a big nonprofit umbrella organization that kind of oversees all of the programs across states. They provide a lot of resources for many stakeholders, for families, teachers. And so here's just a video of their campaign last year of spreading more information about the college opportunities that do exist.
Sarah, we're not getting sound.
Thank you for letting me know. Um, Libba, would you like to jump in here and give me any pointers? Gosh, I included.
Did you share at the top of the screen and check the volume at the bottom?
Oh, you know what? When I shared my screen the second time, I did not include sound. Good grief. My apologies, Shayla.
No worries.
Okay, share again, include sound. Here we go, and I'm going to rewind it so you can hear it right from the beginning. Jenny, please let me know if you don't hear it again.
We can hear it.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm a student here at Georgia Tech. We are asking students with intellectual disabilities around the country what's fun about going to college.
Is a chance to not be around your parents.
The best thing about being in college is the food. Being in a dorm, getting to meet new people.
You have a bed, you have a sink, you have a desk, you have a TV, and you have a refrigerator. You can also hang up posters anywhere.
Great mocha latte, the best mocha latte I ever have.
There are more than 420,000 school-age students with intellectual disability, but only 2% of them are likely to attend college after high school.
I wanted to come to KU because of the classes, and I wanted to take choir. And also I took American Sign Language.
The classes I'm taking right now are Business Law 1, Intermediate Algebra, and English Composition 2.
It's cool to meet new people. It's fun to chat with the guys and the managers and the coaches.
I wanted to be more independent and to join the sorority as my mom did.
I like to hang out with friends, watch sports, and I joined the Southernmost Coral Restoration Club.
In high school, I have to be with a teacher all the time, so it was not like any dependent there. I was excited to have like the college life.
There are more than 300 inclusive post-secondary education programs around the country.
Having students with disabilities in classes has compelled our faculty to reflect on their practice. So it actually makes us better teachers, makes us better professors, makes us better scholars and researchers.
It's really got people to realize that we have to focus on universal access and doing things in universal design, everything that we do.
The great thing about including students with intellectual disabilities at KU is actually it makes the entire university a better university. It teaches students to appreciate difference, and it creates a more caring environment because students support each other.
This has united, I think, our campus faculty, staff, and students. They have the opportunity to network and get mentors and other social skills and career development that their peers have had for many years. Now they have.
I want to go into real estate in the future.
My goal is to be a teacher. At preschool.
I always know that one event breakfast.
Political science is one of the goals I made.
My credo is maybe work in the Kansas State Capitol.
I would like to have my own food truck because I want to have pizza, have some burgers, maybe have some tacos, nachos.
College has changed me because it's helped me grow up, like getting a job or living on your own.
It's great, and you'll have a lot of support when you get here.
If I can do it, you can do it, you know?
It's a time to be serious. It's a time to learn. I have the skills. I have the skills to live on my own one day.
Think higher. Think college for students with intellectual disability. Think access, employment, equity, options, diversity, independence, confidence, friendship. College is possible for students with intellectual disability. Take the first step at thinkhighered.net, a project of Think College.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. I just love showing that video, even though I've watched it so many times. It just makes me kind of giggle. I have only been in my role for 7 months, but when I was in undergrad and grad school, I got to serve in one of the programs in South Carolina as a mentor, and I did it across domains, so academic, social, and residential. And truly, if I don't say anything else, like during this presentation, I think that video just does a good job of highlighting how beneficial and impactful these programs are, not just here in South Carolina, but across the country. Sarah, you can go ahead to the next slide. Perfect. So now that we've kind of knocked out the misconception that college isn't possible, I'm going to go ahead and lead into a couple more. The second one is that IPSEs are only about the college experience. And when I say that, parents, teachers, agencies might question often, what are these students actually gaining from spending money to go to a 4-year or even a 2-year college? And actually, while students do have access to the same clubs and organizations and social life that traditional students do, these programs really do highlight and focus on the areas of independent living and employment so that when these students graduate, they are leading productive lives. The national employment average last year was 21%, and at graduation across all of these programs in South Carolina, the employment rate was 91%. And our programs don't take that lightly. They partner with, and I know I have dozens on the slide, but I'd say well over 100 community partners and businesses and organizations that they partner with to provide internship and job opportunities to these young adults. So they're learning so much more than just how to make friends and how to join clubs. They really are advocating for themselves, learning the same things that traditional students do so that when they do graduate, they're able to go out and make a difference in the world just like we hope to. You can go ahead, Sarah. I think the third and one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's unaffordable. And I do not deny college is very expensive, but one of our main hopes is to just kind of raise awareness, not just about the programs themselves, but how we can kind of debunk the myth that it isn't affordable. So here I have listed just some of the resources that students have access to. All of the programs in South Carolina are recognized as comprehensive transition programs. So that enables students to apply for financial aid by filling out the FAFSA. And so that enables them to access loans and Pell Grants just like traditional students. In addition to that, I'm going to jump down to the third bullet, the South Carolina Appropriated Funds. So the Commission on Higher Ed designates funds through the lottery for all of our programs that get disseminated. There are two sectors, I guess you could say. The first is just a CTP scholarship, and that is for $10,000 maximum per academic year. And any South Carolina resident is automatically eligible just for applying to any of our IPSE programs. In addition to that, they are eligible for CTP grants based on need, and that need is determined on the results of their FAFSA application. So that's altogether up to $20,000 per academic year that students could have access to when applying for attending one of these programs. In addition to those federal opportunities, South Carolina Voc Rehab offers tuition support, and that number varies as well, just based on the family and the student's need. So while I don't have access to direct numbers, we just encourage families to get connected with their Voc Rehab counselor where they can, learn more about those opportunities. I also know that VR will provide support when it comes to technology, laptops, book support. So there's so many options. And then lastly, there are a lot of external scholarships, disability specific and not. Ruby's Rainbow offers tons of scholarships each year to individuals with Down syndrome, and the Organization for Autism Research offers scholarships to those with autism spectrum disorder specifically. And I can share with Sarah at the end of this presentation later via email some resources that we've kind of compiled that highlight all of these financial resources. And on that document, there are also links to a lot of these external websites and resources as well. You can go ahead, Sarah. The fourth misconception is that students with IDD will struggle to make friends and connect socially. Honestly, I think I enjoyed more serving as a mentor than I did hanging out with traditional college students. I don't think these individuals realize just how special they are. And so when they come to campus, I've visited all of the campuses, so I have seen it firsthand. The climate is always so welcoming. And so they are never left or isolated. I think that's a question that parents have a lot, like I'm sending and trusting my kid to move away or to go away for school, but like, how do I know that they'll be taken care of? Each program has mentors that are there for support across domains and areas. All of these students have access to the same clubs, organizations, sororities. There are lots of volunteer opportunities, community organizations like Miracle League that offer inclusive and adaptive sports for these individuals to take part in. I think parents, they have their right to worry, but honestly, I think these students leave home coming in, although they are nervous, with a lot more confidence than we kind of leave room for. And so it's just so fun to watch them blossom. So you can see here detailed in some of the pictures below, some of the experiences that students are engaged in and that show you, based on the smiles on their faces, that they aren't left, they aren't isolated, they are very much included and welcomed onto their campuses. You can go ahead, Sarah. Misconception 5, on-campus living is not a good fit for individuals with IDD. If I'm not mistaken, there might be 1 or 2 programs that accept commuters, but ideally they want them to be fully immersed into the college experience. So freshmen are usually required to live in a dorm on campus. They typically live with 1 or 2 other peers that are also going through the program. But they may not always have a roommate that's in the program. And then they each have residential supports. Much like the traditional college student, it's a shared space. Each person has their own room, but they might share a kitchen or a bathroom. They get to offer choice in who they room with. So a lot of the times we find that when parents travel to these schools for open house events, they connect with families that are also there, and they kind of establish connection outside of those events and kind of say, oh, hey, like, our girls really got along, or our guys really got along. Maybe we should room together. The supports that are offered in these settings vary. So freshman year, obviously, we're not going to throw students in high and dry and leave them, not knowing what to do or how to acclimate or adjust to campus life. So there's usually a residential support that is there. It's not necessarily a 24/7 type supervision, but the mentor is always there for support should the student need it. They kind of help them get on track with setting alarms, picking up after themselves. And ideally, the idea is that we want to fade that support as they go throughout the 4-year experience or 2-year, depending on the school. So yeah, it is absolutely a good fit, and it is an option. And if students show that they've mastered certain skills, they might have the opportunity to move off campus into apartments with or without peers with disabilities as they so choose. Okay, Sarah. And I do believe this is the last misconception that I have on this slide, and it's that IPSIs don't have appropriate academic accommodations, and that is also wrong. Each of these programs offer the same course catalog that traditional students have access to, so do students with disabilities. It's just their courses are audited. So they aren't particularly receiving grades, as these programs are not degree seeking, they are just certificate programs. In addition to that, there are peer mentors that serve as academic tutors or coaches. Programs kind of use those terms interchangeably. There's a lot of one-on-one instruction, but also small group instruction. I know that program staff really work with campus professors to modify assignments so that students are able to show their skill level accurately. In addition to that, there's person-centered planning. So at the beginning of each year, program directors and staff will meet with students individually to just kind of go over what their career or academic interests are, and they try to fit them or get them into classes that align with those interests. In addition to that, once students age out of high school, they are no longer being served under IDEA, but ADA. And so we encourage families to get students signed up with disability resource services or resource centers on campus, because they can provide further accommodations and modifications outside of what these programs offer. And it might not mirror what's in their K through 12 IEPs, but again, it is very much tailored to the student, and we want them to get acclimated and adjusted to campus in a way that would make them successful. So there are academic accommodations and modifications available. Okay. Just some tips for preparing for the transition to college: presuming competence and having high expectations. Prepare early and talk about post-secondary options with student and school professionals. Shared responsibility among stakeholders. Fading support. And most important, encouraging student drive and self-determination. We want parents to send their students off to school, but we also want students to want to come to college, because if not, then the experience might not be as beneficial. So just helping guide them and set them up for success, but also encouraging them to seek these opportunities because they want them, not just because somebody else told them to. And our consortium does a really good job of partnering with outside agencies and stakeholders, because we know that this is a collaborative effort. It shouldn't just be on the parents or just on the teachers, just on the school districts, or just on us. So again, my position is very new, but if there's any way that I can help educate you all, any of your transition coordinators, your staff, to help disseminate this information so that South Carolinians are prepared for college, I'm happy to do so. Sarah, you can go ahead. I've talked about some of these, but listed are some of the commonalities and differences across programs. I'm going to focus more on the differences just because I've hit on a lot of the commonalities as we've gone throughout this presentation. Differences: all of the programs are certificate programs. However, Clemson Life offers their own 2-year hospitality certificate program, and so students that go through that are getting a certificate specifically in the field or trade of hospitality. So their students work with local hotels and do a lot of rotations in that business. Outside of that, there is no other program that offers a specific certificate, but dual enrollment is not the term that I should use. It's more so partnerships with CTEs. So there are 2 programs in particular that have formal partnerships with local tech schools that can send their students. It's Winthrop Life and Carolina Life. They are partnered with York College and Midlands Tech. And so their students have the option of going to those technical schools and choosing courses in vocations that suit their interests. And the certification process is a little bit different. It might be something they have to apply for separately from the Life program itself, but it is available to them. Coastal Life has a partnership with Horry Georgetown, but it is a little less formal, but students do have access to those courses on that campus as well. I know that Horry Georgetown did have free tuition, but I have heard that is no longer. Winthrop Life takes off $1,000 of their program fees and allows students to apply that to their course taking at York College. Those are the only specific examples that I know about, but if I happen to come across any more, I will definitely let you know. Winthrop is currently a 2-year program, but they are moving to a 4-year, and it kind of is happening right now. I don't know if they anticipated that, but because they're growing so much and a lot of their students are making such good progress now, they are going to allow them to stay. University of South Carolina Aiken, Pacer Life is a 2-year program. Clemson offers a 2-year hospitality program, and then all of the other programs are 4-year programs. And then just some of the bigger differences, obviously the geographic location and campus size. I am not like an expert on like the numbers that each of these schools have, but I know that Carolina and Clemson, obviously they're in bigger towns, and so their campus sizes are very big. But I would say that each of these programs average between 15 and 50 students per academic year across cohorts. The average cohort size is usually 8 to 15. But again, that might vary as programs are leaning more towards the growing side. And then lastly, age, interviews, rolling admissions, they are all a part of the eligibility process. Most programs have a range of 18 to 24 for students applying to these programs. But again, it's not necessarily a definite. Programs do try to look at individuals as a whole when they are applying, and they try not to let that be a deterring factor. It just might impact, you know, where students live. Obviously, we're not going to put an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old in the room with somebody that's 30. So there are lots of factors that kind of play into how that unfolds, but ideally, most programs have an 18 to 24 or 25 age range for students applying to these programs. Interviews, it depends on the school. If they have rolling admissions, it is ongoing, and they will kind of keep interviews going and acceptances going until they have a full cohort, whereas others might have an online interview first, via Zoom, and that just gives them a way to meet the family, meet the student, kind of communicate, especially if someone's coming from out of state. And then they might come for an on-campus interview should things be progressing in a positive way and they feel like the candidate is a good fit. Obviously, we would love to see more South Carolina residents applying and attending these programs. So hopefully that's something that will enable students and families to visit in person more. Sarah, you can go ahead. Here is a flyer and a QR code for the CAP program, College Access and Preparation. That is also housed at the University of South Carolina. They have a doc student that is running this program, and it specifically allows high school students and teachers in classrooms to kind of learn more about the ins and outs of what it entails to apply for a program. And they also offer a partnership with their Carolina Life students or mentorship, where the Carolina Life students will jump on and offer support to rising transition age students that might be interested in attending college. So the person that runs that is Madeline, and to learn more about this program, you can either scan the QR code or email her at the email that's listed at the bottom. And it is no cost to anyone. So just a little free way to get a little inside scoop. This QR code here is just an 8-question survey just to give myself and the directors that I collaborate with an idea of what people across the state of South Carolina know about these IPSE programs. So it is very broad. It is designed for anyone. It could be a potential student, a parent, a guardian, a teacher, transition provider, outside agency stakeholder, anyone. This survey is still open, and it has been open for several months, but my guess is it will probably close sometime late spring, as we are hoping to analyze the results this summer at our strategic planning summit. That way it can kind of inform us and guide us for future programming, just because I do think that awareness is a big gap when it comes to families accessing and knowing about what these programs have to offer. So again, there's a QR code, and then the link also is at the bottom. You all are more than welcome to take this survey, but if there's someone you feel would benefit more from taking it, please feel free to pass it along to anyone. The more responses that we get, the better. So that is just a needs assessment survey. Feel free to take it. I promise it only takes a couple minutes. Sarah, you can go ahead. I don't know how you want to run questions, Sarah, but if you want to go past this slide, there are a couple of more QR codes just for social media, Facebook, Instagram. If you all want to keep up to date with SCIPSEC and all that we're doing, if you would like us to come to a transition fair that your district is hosting, please feel free to drop your emails in the chat box. You can email me separately, whatever works best for you all. I am here and available and ready to keep our consortium growing and moving ahead as we try to serve the population that we do. that is all I have from this formal presentation. So thank you all so much for your time.
And thank you, Shayla. I will read some of the comments over. I don't know if you can see the chat box, but I can see the questions. One of them, how much do these programs typically cost families per year?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that varies on our website. Linked is a direct link to all of the program websites, but they pretty much average between 8,000 and 20,000. Sometimes that includes tuition and university fees as well. The breakdown gets a little complicated across programs, but those numbers also don't include like the meal plan and the housing plan. Those are separate. Those funds do not go to the program. So just for the program itself, it ranges from about 8,000 to 15,000.
Thank you. You're getting a lot of accolades, people saying they really love this, and they asked, is it possible to use this video in our districts to show our ID students? And I can respond to that you'll be getting a copy, or you have this video, or I mean, you have this entire PowerPoint, so you can pull it from there. And that was from Ann Curitin. So did you have a different question? Like, were you hoping she could send it to you separately, or would this video, could you pull it right out of the PowerPoint, do you think?
Yeah, or if you just Google on YouTube, Think College campaign, that technically is not my video. Think College just wanted us to jump on their campaign and kind of share that video. But if you just Google Think College campaign video, it is available to the public. So you're more than welcome to take that link, or I can send you a link directly to share.
Thank you, Shayla. Someone suggested, put this on your to-do list. It would be great to have a video of our state programs featured to share with our students and families.
Okay.
Let's see. Could you please display the first QR code again? Yes, Dina, I'll go right back in just a minute. And a whole bunch of people are putting their and somebody said they can pull thank you. Yep, you can pull it from the PowerPoint. Good. So yes, I'll go back to that first QR code. Let me see. Who was that, Dina? Is it this one, Dina? You're talking about the CAP program? Well, they're pulling that off from there. And remember, you do have a copy of this PowerPoint, so you can always go back to it yourself. This is, let's see, slide 20. Shayla, we really appreciate you coming here today and telling us all about these programs. I think a couple of people said, oh, I hope, we're going to talk about the Clemson Life program. And a lot of people are familiar, or were familiar with the one or two that have been around for a much longer period of time. But as these programs, you've really brought our attention to how many programs there are and how people can afford them. Like, I'm sure a lot of people, myself included, didn't know that you could apply for FAFSA money and use it toward these programs, or use it toward the college experience. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And just like to Sarah, I know we've talked about it, the 529 plan. I will send again, Sarah, the documents that we've been sharing and taking as resources, like takeaways to have on tables. But there's the Palmetto Able, which is also just a savings account that families can put money into to save up over time, so that they are a little bit more prepared when it comes to the financial piece.
Absolutely. And I'll give our audience, our participants, a little hint of what's coming on the very last slide, is that in 2 weeks, we will have Karen Kreider from the State Treasurer's Office, specifically to talk about Palmetto Able savings program. So she'll talk about all of the things you can do with that savings program, but specifically she'll also, what you just talked about, that it's akin to that 529 program. You can't use exactly, like you said, not a 529 program, but it's the same idea. You can put savings into the Palmetto Able program and save for college if you know that you think you would like your child to be able to participate in one of these programs once they get to be college age. Okay, let me just look real quickly. Oh, Susan Thomas, thank you so much. You just put the link in the over in the chat for folks who would like that for the Think College YouTube link. And a lot of people are saying thank you and great job. So thank you, Shayla. I appreciate we all time.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, coming up next, we have announcements and reminders. Michelle Williams-Young, you're next.
Sarah. Good afternoon, everyone. This is just a reminder. As you know, in August or September of last year, we were informed that the non-competitive procurement regulations would be enforced here in South Carolina. And our office has been really, or tried to be really accommodating since this was, since we were all notified within a short amount of time regarding this. But I wanted to take this opportunity now to remind you that now is the time that you should start to prepare and start to think about what your procurement needs will be for the 24-25 school year. So please go ahead to start to follow your procurement processes to establish relationships with vendors so that we can ensure full and open competition as required by the federal government. So again, just a reminder, some procurement processes take longer than others. So I would encourage you to start now if you need to post anything, do requests for proposals, and those types of things. Go ahead and get with your procurement office or your finance office to go ahead and get those in place, because we will not, we're going to encourage you to follow your procurement policies and ensure that all of the your procurement needs are done in a competitive manner. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or anyone on the fiscal team. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Next, Susan Thomas.
Hey there, I just wanted to take a minute just to give you a reminder about the Academic Alliance, our new partnership, very much like what Basque and Task and Skippy have done. We are starting a co-op, and that really is about collaboration, ongoing assistance, opportunities for growth and sustainability, and practices based on evidence. We'll be having 2 cadres, and you can pick and choose what you would like to belong to. But if you notice, we are having some informational sessions on those dates, and that link there that QR code will take you to the form to register, and then that will send you the Zoom link. And we are looking forward. We are trying to move away from offering trainings that are train and hope, and moving more to building your internal capacity through a train the trainer model. And there'll be 2, as I said, the 2 cadres. One will work on kind of systems, and so thinking about things that work across content areas. The other will work on evidence-based practices, including elementary reading, early foundation reading, secondary reading, using national experts to provide initial training, and also then to do follow-up coaching and meeting with these individuals who participate in this. So just want to encourage you to attend the informational setting. Sessions. I'm putting 2 links in. One is just in case you want to hit on the link to register. The other one I'll stick in just a second, and that's the actual document that explains the co-op. So we'll look forward to seeing you. Our first one's in the morning at 8 o'clock. Then we'll do 2 additional ones because we know how hard your time is. We'll also be recording it. Thanks, Sarah.
Yes, very excellent. Thank you so much, Susan. That's great. The next one, I'll just let you know, I think all of our Skippy folks, well, I shouldn't assume. Do we have anyone here?
Sarah, it's Sherry. I'm here. I'm going to do P4 and then I'll announce for Skippy.
Okay.
All right. So we have 2 upcoming events through the P4 grant project. That grant is ending in April, so we're wrapping it up. But the first one for March is March the 15th. That's with TJ Rumler on educator and student wellness. There will be 2 sessions that day. From 9 to 12, there will be one on self-care, and then from 1 to 4, there will be one on creating communities of care. You can register for one or the other or both, totally up to you. And that is in person here in Columbia. The next one is March 27th. That is, go back a second,
Sorry.
Sarah.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's suspensions and expulsion in early education. That will be with Jennifer Rainville and Heather Googe. We'll have 2 sessions available that day as well. It will be repeated, but there are both in-person and virtual options for attendance for that one. So got links there for both of those. Please sign up and attend if you're able. And then you can go to the next slide. Hippie's See It Academy is open for applications. If you are interested in looking into an itinerant model of services for your preschool age children, definitely sign up for that. Even if you're already doing it, but would like to improve, certainly consider participating in that. Dr. Kata Seta with USC leads the cohort, and the application deadline is March the 13th. So we hope you will be able to join. And if you have any questions, you can contact Tanya Hutchinson. Her email address is on the slide. She is the See It Academy coach. All right, I think that's it, Sarah.
All right, thank you so much, Sherry. This next slide is one of mine. So one of our directors asked us about OSIS, about if we had a list of summer camps for the Midlands area. And we didn't, but we put our heads together of ones that we knew about. And so we sent those off. But then we decided, well, let's see what we have available throughout the state. So I've tagged myself as being the one to put that list together. So if you know of a summer camp that is free or very low cost, that's open to children with disabilities, if you'd please send that information to me. There's my email address if you don't have that already. Be sure to include the county, who can attend, what the application process is, the deadline to apply, and any other important information. And I'll put together a spreadsheet, and then we'll get that back out to you as soon as I can, so that then you can share it out with your families, and then they can get their children registered. I just know personally, and I'm sure many of you have, like, summer camp is just an amazing experience, and I think all of our children should have that experience. So next, coming up, so March 19th, Karen Kreider, you heard me mention that when Shayla was presenting. Karen Kreider from the State Treasurer's, I always say Treasurer's Treasury Office, will be coming to talk about the Palmetto Able Savings Program. And then we wanted to give you a heads up to watch for an email. It will come from Robert Hill. There'll be a memo attached from Peter talking about the national child count for deaf-blind students. And we want to get that count accurate for Robert's needs. So for that is the end of our slideshow. And if anyone has anything they would like to come off their unmute and share with the group, and I'll also check the group chat just to be sure I haven't missed anything. No, I think just people putting their links in for us. Thank you, folks, it really helps when we do this as a tag this as a team. I appreciate your help.
Hey, Sarah?
Yes, ma'am.
I had a question about if there's a document that helps explain how determinations were calculated for our profiles. Like where to
Yes, I will send it, or I'll share it with Sarah so she can drop it for the directors.
Perfect. Thank you, Carolyn.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, well, that's all for today. I will send our recording out. Thank you, Libba, for getting the recording button to work for us. I'll send this out for Cap